All right, let's start on the chair. I like twisting on the chair. Blocks, 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 blocks. Blocks and chair, blocks and chair. Okay, so sitting on the edge of the chair. And let's actually take arms out and up. So inhaling as the arms come up. And let's actually just move arms down. I know you can't see the arms at the top, just a little. Inhale through the nose, letting the breath move in and down, base of pelvis, belly, back, ribs. And then exhale, just slowly pressing it out. And again, inhale. And just keep slowing it down. What can you let go of in your mind, in your heart, in your body? Just putting it down, even for a moment. And what can you gather in this spring energy, emergence? A couple more. Right, and energy comes in with a little, or spring comes in with a little bit of force. Just to move, right? The buds open and seedlings up out of the soil. Two more. What are you gathering? What are you synthesizing? What are you integrating? Last one. Good. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. And feeling your own hands against your skin, against your body, the pressure, the weight, the contact. Good. And let's inhale and exhale with an, let's just go right for the Om, gentle, soft Om. Oh. And again, inhale. Oh. One more long, slow inhale. Just listening for, feeling the vibration of your own voice. Oh. Maybe just sitting with any intention for the class, for the day. Okay. Simple twist, opposite hand to me. You want to turn towards, right? Most of us have a rotation. So if you feel and you feel one side of your lower back further back, turn to that side first. Good. Feet heavy, thighs heavy, sitting bones heavy. Good, and second side. Just checking in, which side felt easier. Again, notice any shifts of the pelvis or the ribs or the weight. Good, letting the breath fill the body, creating more space from the inside out. Good, and back to the first side. Good, and then imagining a little bit of, I guess, length or space between, let's go with the right front hip. Well, again, depends on which side you're on, but picking the shortest side, the side that feels shorter, the front hip. So I'm picking right hip to left front shoulder. Right, almost like I'm creating, I have a sash across my chest, right? And I'm just trying to create length and width and height. And then maybe even the back hip to the back shoulder. And then do the other side. For me, it was the left hip and right shoulder. And through center, just notice. And second side. Right, so if we have, so I have a rotation to the right, so often turning to the left is more challenging. So just, again, notice, sometimes we have one side needs a little bit more work than the other side. Again, what is your shorter side? For me, it's left front hip to right front shoulder. Again, lengthening, widening. Creating space internally, externally. And then opposite, right? Or back hip to back shoulder. Good. And then the opposite side or seemingly longer side, right? For me, it's right hip, left shoulder, front and back. Good. And back to center. Let's just take hands on shoulders, couple shoulders, circles. And our shoulder blades moving, neck, head, breath, changing direction. Good, and center, maybe just a simple turn, right? Turning a little bit more from the ribs, and even shoulders or upper arms. First side, and the second side. Good, and center, and let's take right arm across. So I'm going to start at the upper arm, so left arm wraps around the upper arm or elbow. Good, maybe just a little lift of that right shoulder and lower. Good, maybe ear towards the shoulder as it lifts and away from the shoulder as it lowers. Looking over that right shoulder, out to the right side. And then looking over the left shoulder. Good, let's just slide the hand down towards the wrist. Drawing that arm in, again, just a different lever. Good, a little up towards the ear, maybe ear towards the shoulder, and then head away as the shoulder drops. And again. And then looking right as that left arm draws that wrist a little closer. Good, maybe just rotating palm towards the floor and that right hand, towards the ceiling, towards the floor, and towards the ceiling. Good, and release, just shake it out. Roll the shoulders. Good, other side. So right arm grabs that left upper arm. Good, and a little lift. At the shoulder blade and lower. This time ear to shoulder and then ear away from shoulder. Looking to the left and looking right. Good, let's slide the hand down. Good, little lift and lower. Ear to shoulder, ear away. Looking over that left shoulder. Again, that right arm is going to draw that left arm a little closer. I'm feeling it right up in my deltoids, right? Upper arm tissues. And then maybe flip the palm towards the floor, whole arm rotating and palm towards the ceiling. Floor and ceiling. Ah, and release. Shake it up. Good. Let's take one arm on top. Just remember which one it is. Good. And I'm just going to go right to Garudasana. So either backs of hands together or palms together. Take the elbows down. Head rounding, spine rounding. And then rounding back up, lifting elbows, lifting face, long through the side body. And center, and let's go down and to the side and up and other side. And down and side. Good, and then changing direction. Good, you can play with twisting or not twisting. Right? What's different if the torso stays more still or the torso moves? Good, and release. Again, rolling shoulders. Actually do a little side bend here, so tipping. You can either hold hand on the chair seat or slide down a leg, tipping up and over to that side. Right, sitting bone heavy on the side you're tipping away from. And up and other side. Good, sitting bone heavy. Notice breath. Where's their movement? What gets shallow? And come on. Okay, other arm on top. Palms together. Do a little round. Good, rounding through upper back, mid back, lower back. And then coming up, lifting arms, face. And more neutral. Again, little circle to one side, so down and side, up, side. Again, what happens if the ribs are a little more steady or if the ribs move? Try both. And then changing direction. Right. Good, and center. And shake. Okay, we're just going to do a couple of these, but hands-on blocks. So my blocks are mid-height so that I can do a little grip strength, but you can also turn your blocks up if you need a little more space to rotate. So left hand plants, right arm reaches forward up to the ceiling, right? Using both arms, the downward reach of that left arm to help turn the ribs down on that side. And then doing it again, forward and up and back and down. Last one, forward and up, back and down. And switch direction, back and up and forward and down, back, up, forward and down. Other side, left arm forward and up, back, and down, listening to how much rotation the body, right? Totally different. We're not so vertical, a little bit of a flexion. So just noticing forward, up, back, and down, back, and up, and forward, and down, and again, back, up, forward, down. Last time. What's different on this side? What do you see differently? And raining up. Okay. One more. Uno más before well, two more. Okay, so right ankle, left knee. Just a little bob, a little tip forward. And coming up, little tip. So nice and gentle, just to warm up the tissue. Little rocking. Right, little prayer. That rhythm. Good, one more. And then let's pause, little point to the foot. And a little flex. And come up. And rock forward. Again, little point, maybe even engage the sole of the foot. Right, little dancer's point. And flex. And come up. So left hand down, that outer left leg. And then right hand down, that outer or inner left leg. And down to the floor if you can, or towards the floor. Good, one more each side. Good, noticing breath. Right, even more than how far you can go. What does it feel like? Other side. Or what is revealed? If we think of our body as a poem to read. And just finding that rhythm. It's been used across the planet for centuries. Good, and then pause, hold. Again, little dancer's point, so pretty strong point. And flex, toes towards the shin. And coming up. And again, tip. And point, and then flex. And coming up. And if one felt particularly helpful, or you can play with the point and flex, right? Because it engages the tissues in the hip, as you can, I'm sure, feel. Right hand sliding down the outer leg, and left hand sliding down the inner leg. And down, and up. And foot on the floor. Okay, so let's actually just start palms together. So palms, like maybe as low as elbow height. And I'm just going to play with turning and possibly hooking. So you can even separate your feet if that rotation is too much and bring the elbow. So if I turn to the right, then it would be left elbow inside the left leg, or you can try the left elbow on the outside of the right leg. And again, maybe even think about those diagonals. So I'm thinking back right hip to back left shoulder, front right hip to front left shoulder. Then just quiet awareness, not needing to push. Really follow breath. Again, maybe opposite side, left front hip to right front shoulder. Good. And though, even though we're forward, reaching forward with that left elbow, can you lean back just a little bit? Letting the right top ribs or side ribs fall back. And come up. Pause. And then other side. Again, could be right elbow to inner right knee or to outer left knee. Good. Using the breath, let it be more inner movement than pressing, especially in twists. Right, maybe there's the surface tissues and the tissues between ribs and side ribs, around lungs, around heart, diaphragm, organs. Right, belly turning. Again, maybe think about the diagonals, left hip, right shoulder, front and back. Right sense of space, landscape. Good. And then maybe just leaning back ever so slightly. Good. And release. Ah. All right. Let's do one standing pose. So toes out. You can do this off the chair if you would like. I'm just going to go, oh, and our thighs are very tight. Let's just do a little side bend to one side. And then the other side. And come up. And then again, one more opposite hand to knee. And you can bring your knees in a little bit more. I'm more interested in turning, getting the inner thigh of the leg that I'm turning away from. So knee moving away from the front of the room as I turn away from that knee. And then other side. Good. And center. Good. And let's just take right knee in and out a couple times. In and out. And then left knee in and out. In and out. Okay, so right knee in. Turn the foot in, let it straighten. So my pelvis is still somewhat forward. Pressing that right thigh into the chair, into the seat of the chair. Warrior two is shape. Right, so again, you can plant feet. Plant feet, pull towards each other, away from each other, just to get light on the chair, just raising the chair. Good, right hand down. Left arm up, look up. Come back through warrior two. Again, maybe you're off the chair, maybe you're on the chair, doesn't matter. And let's just tip. So forearm against the inner knee, top arm up. And come back up to warrior two. One more time, tipping back, looking up. Right hand down, left arm up. Good, maybe either forearm on, or you can do hand on floor. You can even reach over, grab a block. Extended side angle. Top arm up. And top arm over. And breathe. And slowly coming up. And release. Other side. Straighten that left leg. Toes forward, foot flat. So my left outer foot is heavy. outer heel as heavy as the inner heel. Again, feet plant and either pull towards each other or press away. Warrior two. Again, you could sneak off the chair just a little. Depends on your energy today. Left hand down, right arm up. Feel the weight, the width, the breath, the inner landscape. Right forearm against the inner leg, left arm up. What do you notice when there's a little more challenge? Left arm down, right arm up. And right hand down, either floor or grab the block. Notice the rhythm of the breath, the quality of thought. And slowly coming back up. And feet. Good, let's bring toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in, toes in. And come up. Okay. Hands on chair. Let's just step back to dog. Good. Maybe bending knees and let your ribs get a little lower, right? Lower towards the thighs, lower towards the floor. Maybe even pull your right hip back away from your right hand and lift it back. And then play with straightening legs. Keeping those ribs heavy and bend. And straighten. And then keeping the legs straight and the arms straight, just letting the cat out. And a little posterior, anterior tilt. With the legs straight. Might not be very big. Lifting belly, lifting sitting bones. Good. And then let's walk the feet in. And come up to stand. Okay. Chair off to the side. And let's come onto the floor. Feet together. You can grab a blanket. So I'm just gonna have them handy. Right. So if you're sitting and you feel like you're doing this, you can always just shove something even under just your butt tissue or your tailbone. And just pressing thighs down as your spine lengthens. Good. And release. Again, a little twist. So opposite hand either to knee or to shin. Right. So I'm even going to lift my knee up that I'm turning towards and then lower it just to deepen the twist. Again, it's a lot of twisting, listening. Twistings require more ease than we think. And release, other side. Good. One more bigger, longer, fuller breath, moving ribs from the inside. And release. Let's just tip forward, so long torso. Good, and come on. Okay. So feet up. I'm just gonna do a couple sweeps. Side to side. Good. And then I'm gonna come up and tip. So this is my right knee in front. You can start either with legs more, right, lower legs perpendicular to thighs, little 90-degree to 90-degree, or you can pull the feet in a little bit more if that's easier on the tissues around the knee. Just gonna tip forward. So light touch on my hands, tipping forward, loading that outer right leg. I am flexing the foot and coming back up. And then load again, maybe even less weight, or hands off the floor. You can always, depending on your body, if the knee isn't all the way down, you can put a blanket under your knee so you have something to push into. And maybe arm back towards the back of the room. Both arms. And then both arms out to the side, just coming forward. Again, that simple load like we did on the chair. And then maybe arms forward, tipping. It's probably the hardest one because all the weight is forward. Let's take the arms up and tip forward, nice and slow, just leaning in to that interesting load. Okay, and then I'm going to turn past that right leg, hands to the floor for a moment. Maybe lengthen the waist. Good, and then I'm going to bend my arms, lowering the torso and lifting the leg. And then let's extend that left leg back. And maybe turn the head to the right, just a little weight into that right hand. And then push back up and come back to the floor, right where we started. Knee bent, and then tip forward. Let the hands catch you, turn, look over the right shoulder, extend that left leg, lifting belly, lifting and turning the ribs. And come back to the floor. Push back to where we started. And then come again forward. And push up. Last one. And come back up. Good, hands behind. Little sweep. Sweep. And then we're going to sweep to the other side. So left knee is going to be in front. And same setup, and this side might be different. Again, blanket under the outer leg if you need it. Feet closer to the thigh if you need it. And tipping forward, again, loading, pressing into outer foot, outer thigh, outer knee. And again, tip. Good, let's take the arms back. Again, support that outer leg as much as you need to. And then arms out to the side, come forward. Just different loads as you shift the arms. Let's take the arms up. I think that's a little bit easier than forward. And come up and then arms forward. How do you use your breath? Good, turning. Two hands on the floor, straight arms. Good, even here, playing as you bend the arms, the right leg lifts. Little teeter-totter. Bending, right? So lifting up through belly, ribs, just enough to turn to the left. Left hand is a little more weight. Right leg extends. And then just pressing back to where we started. And a little tip, tip, right? That interesting place where the hands are off the floor, the leg is off the floor. Rotating, extending, and pushing back up. Leg off the floor, hands off the floor, land. And tip, lift the leg, lower the hands. that interesting kind of nuance. And last time, probably the most interesting load is leg up, hands up. And then come back up to sit. Hands behind and knees up, side, center, side, center. Okay, so I'm going to take knees to the right, and I'm just going to let my right hand stay down. Left arm comes forward, maybe even left hand to that right knee. I'm going to sneak that left leg back. And then maybe just here a little posterior tilt, anterior tilt, just to feel the shape or the resistance. Is the belly pushing forward? Just kind of normal in these back bendy shapes. Good. And then bending the knee, coming back through the center and over to the other side. So now I'm on my left bent knee, left hand on the floor, standing that right leg. Right? Could be a quasi straighten. Right? You could go full on and turn the toes under, or you could just quasi and little anterior, posterior. First pass. Good, anterior, posterior. And then bending the knee and coming back to center. Just do a little sweep, side to side. Okay. Okay. So let's take one knee bent, one leg straight. A little bit of rolling. So let's do a little side bend. So left arm inside that left leg, little side bend towards the left leg. Right thigh somewhat heavy. Doesn't even have to be through, although it can be. Right, the contrast of tipping to one side, you anchor the other. And coming up. And then let's lift that right knee, step on the foot. Good. Little extend. See, I'm thinking my way through it. No, we have to bend the knee. Maybe walk the foot out just a little bit more. But I'm going to go over the straight leg. I'm going to go over the straight leg. Same little thing, right? Except I'm tipping towards the floor, bending the arms, loading that left hip and extending that right leg. And then let's flip that right leg over the left leg under the right leg, come onto your belly. Legs parallel. Palms under ribs, under shoulders. Let's slide the elbows forward. Elbows right under shoulders. And then pressing into palms, let's lift the elbows. So pubis is heavy. Lifting the ribs and lower. Let's bend one leg, right heel towards the butt, pubis heavy. And straighten, left heel towards the butt, pubis heavy on the floor. And straighten, again, let's press into the hands, lift the elbows, lift the ribs up off the pelvis, pubis tailbone heavy. And lower, let's bend both knees, feet together, heels towards the butt, pubis heavy. And straighten, last time, elbows lift, ribs lift, crown of the head lifts. And lower. And let's take that right leg up again, take it back over the left leg, come back to the hands, keep reaching through that right leg, maybe bend it, and let's come back to where we started. Other side. Right arm inside, top arm up and over. Again, some sense of weight in that left thigh. And come up. Let's lift the left knee, so foot a little further away from the body. But I'm going to turn to the right leg, reach past it. Again, plant the hands, a little bit of a kind of a light chaturanga. Bending that left leg. Right, so a little kick, turning maybe to look to the right, and then sliding that left leg forward, right leg under, come onto your belly, palms under shoulders, slide your elbows forward, under shoulders. Good. Let's bend both legs again, heels towards butt, maybe even feet pressed together as they come towards the butt. Pubis and tailbone heavy, maybe even belly lifted. And then extend. And let's play with just a little bit of rounding in the upper back. And as you round the upper back, lifting belly, widening lower back. And then extending upper spine, eyes forward and up. Rounding, lifting belly, pubis towards navel. And then again, extend and round. And extend. Good. Planting the palms, lifting the elbows, little cobra. Tailbone heavy, pubis heavy. And lower elbows. This time lower the head, slide the hands back towards the ribs. Right, let's play with a little upward facing dog if that feels available. So let's do toes under, pressing into hands, pubis heavy, ribs lifting. Good. You can keep knees on the floor or thighs on the floor, feet on the floor. Maybe lift the hips up. Look up and lower down. Good. Let's lift the left leg and take it back over the right leg and push it back up to sit right where we started. And come forward. Okay. A little bit. So I'm just have enough room behind me to roll down and possibly swing the legs over. So simple roll to start. Keeping the legs close, knees bent. Good. And then extending legs over, legs forward as your body warms up. Right, rolling from Paschimottanasana to Halasana. It's loose. I feel lots of movement in my spine. Clunk, clunk, clunk. The last one like this. Okay. And we've done this one before, so I'm going to take hold of my right leg, either holding the shin or back of leg. Left leg straight, and same thing. Might be a little smaller, but rolling down and rolling up. It may take a couple times to get up and over, if at all. It's not going to be the same. You can even slow it down. So there's a little less momentum and a little more core work, whole body core work. Last one. And then switch. So extending that right leg, switching leg. Same thing. Right, again, less momentum. We'll just give you more work. You can bend straight leg, which makes it a little bit easier. Bending, momentum make it easier. Straight leg, less momentum makes it harder. Last one. Okay. And then we're just going to do a little series. We're going to slow down a little bit and use this as a kind of segue to the floor. We've done it every once in a while. We do it. So if you need, well, we'll see. We'll just start, and then if you need padding, you can take it. But similar setup, Paschimottanasana, rolling down, legs following, rolling up and over, Halasana. Let's take the hands to lower back, just a simple lift of the legs, kind of Sadvangasana shape. Back to Halasana. Good, slowly rolling down. We're going to roll down as the hips come down, the torso comes up. Navasana, knees bent. And feet to the floor. Long torso, simple twist to one side. And other side. Good, we've done all these shapes already. Feet together, knees apart, simple Baddha Konasana, tipping forward. And up two straight legs, Paschimottanasana. Just sliding in, sliding out, rolling down, legs follow, Halasana, Sarvangasana, legs up, hips up, hands on lower back, Halasana, rolling down and up, Navasana. Maybe straighten one leg. You can even hold backs of thighs. Feet to the floor, twisting one side and other side. Feet together, Baddha Konasana. And slowly coming up, sliding the legs forward, Paschimottanasana. Ankles, feet, long torso, coming up, rolling down, lifting legs, swinging legs up and over, hands on back, Sarvangasana. Feet to the floor, rolling down, coming up to Navasana. Let's hold thighs and lift other leg, lengthen other leg. Feet to the floor, long twist, other side. Feet together, knees apart, tipping forward, nice and slow, long reach. of the torso, of the breath. And coming up, Paschimottanasana. Reaching towards feet, past feet, even if you're not touching feet. Nice long spine and rounding down. Legs follow. Hands behind, hips up, legs up. And slowly lower. And rolling up. Two straight legs, hand behind thighs. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana. And two straight legs, Paschimottanasana. Good. One more. Long spine rolling down. Legs up and over. Rolling those shoulders under you. Hands on upper lower back. Hips up. Legs down. Rolling. Navasana, maybe without arms. Long legs, long spine. Feet together, knees apart. Good, maybe even reaching hands forward. Hands up, slide the legs forward, reach again, 2 feet, past feet, with head, with arms, even if you're not touching. And come up. Okay, so I'm grabbing chair and my 2 blocks. So depending on your body, if the blocks are too firm, you can use blankets or a blanket on a block. Actually use a blanket on the edge of the chair as well. Cushion. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little measurement. We're going to do a ramp. So I'm just going to measure somewhat. Heels on chair, hips on floor. And then bringing the hips back to the floor. And again, you can adjust this and make this. You can just bend your knees and put your lower legs on the chair. I'm going to lift my heels, lift my hips. And blocks, I'm just going to slide the blocks together under my body. So I'm going to do middle height or higher height and tip the blocks. And so I'm going to angle them so the edge of the block close to the chair is off the floor. So this is the block at the middle height. And by angling the blocks, there should be a little more length in the lower back. And we've done a lot with the back, so listening. Then you can also take the blocks up to the highest height if the body's ready for that. Right, so different relationship to the sense of inversion or breath or pressure or weight with the hips lower or higher, with the knees bent, with the legs straight. So experiment with your body. Good. And then wherever you settle, letting the inhale, we're just going to play with a little bit of um, organizing the mouth and doing a hum on the exhale for maybe 3 to 5 breaths. So let's play with tongue just behind the teeth on the upper palate and lips together, but teeth are separate, slightly apart. And then we're going to inhale, 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 inhale. And exhale, the length of your exhale is a hum. Mm. Inhale, inhale, inhale. More and more diffuse each time. Your length of inhale. Mm. 2 more on your own. Inhale, inhale, nice and full, enough to have a long, slow hum. Mm. Mm. And relaxing the breath. You can even bring your attention to right, the upper, you go up from the upper palate behind the eyes, behind the brow, the pineal gland. There's a few master glands. Right? These glands that help modulate most of the symptoms of our body. Pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, thalamus, right, as well as within the throat, the thyroid, thymus, and heart, right, all very connected and in close proximity to the vibration of the hum. And even just think of the spot behind brow, eyes, and connecting that space to the heart space. Going deeper into the exploration of the energetics. Less about physical structures and more about the energetics of. Softening away from mind, or maybe even expanding into a higher mind, broader view. Different kind of a thought. And as you stay in this expansion, just feeling the sense of weight, head, ribs, hips, legs. You can shift onto the floor at any point, but allow yourself to stay for a few more moments. Okay? Coming out of doing and into being with you.